Alright, well you guys saw the intro. The intro was a silent unboxing with this weird looking thing here. And the fancy tire spoons. Well, these are necessary tools. I've got a lot of tires to change on motorcycles, and so I went ahead and invested in these three. And this helps you get the bead on. So once you get the bead on one part, you put the rim right in there where my finger's at, wrap that around the spoke or the valve stem, and that'll hold the tire in place so you can work around the rest of the rim. Show you. Sort of kind of a generic way to show you, but I'll show you this way. Okay. This essentially would go just like that with the rim right here and this part of the tire down up under the rim to assist you. It's like a third hand. So that's what that stuff's for. That's what that silent intro was. And they threw in some valve stems and a new valve stem tool, which is kind of cool. Nice of them to do that. But that's for this little Kawasaki here. I now have all of the parts that I need to take care of the Kawasaki, except for one major detail. It's low. It is on the ground. I don't want it on the ground, and I'm tired of grabbing my table. So what's the answer? How do I... Got a bush hog in the way. How do I combat this? Well, you go get a really big box. I got a motorcycle lift, and I'm going to take the motorcycle lift and go to my local steel yard, Kepler Steel, and have them fabricate sides for it. Then I'm also going to get an air-assisted hydraulic cylinder for it. Here we've got my 26 1212s. I finally got a tube put in that one after weeks. Alright, I have squirrel movements here. But back on that. So the lift is going to go pretty much right here in front of the engine workbench. The engine workbench is going to get revamped as well. All of these, they sort of kind of need to go someplace else, so I've got plenty of room on that workbench. I'm using up a whole lot of that workbench depth with those in the way. So as you can see here, I mean, I've got depth for miles. What do we have here? Let's take a look. From the wall to there is 24 inches, then another roughly 10. So I've got 34 inches of counter space there. Of course, I've got the shelf, but you get the idea. So I'm going to have, you know, as much counter space here by moving those out of the way. And as far as the spoons go, I've got spoons like this. These are for really big tires. And I've got couple of other long ones, but if you look at the size of the spoon on there, it's made more for automobile type rims and tires. And this one, although it would work, I only have one, so this one would work really well on the motorcycle. It's a nice short one, similar to those. Those are in fact, they're just about the same length. So making some changes as far as that goes, and the reason I'm going to put sides on the motorcycle lift is so that I can put tractors or zero turns or what have you up on the lift and bring it up in the air. And then, like I said, it's going to be an air powered lift. Okay, now we've covered that. You guys saw the big crate out there in Old Blue. Old Blue's running great, by the way. Now I want to touch on something else here for you guys, and that is something that was brought to my attention. It's actually a very good idea. You guys may or may not remember. If you don't remember and you ever had a problem with one of these carburetors leaking out of the weep hole, I did a video on how to seat the main jet to get the two dissimilar metals, the pot metal and the brass, to kind of wear themselves into one another. Alright, if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. I'll try to remember to link it right down here at the end of the video. But there's another way to combat that actually came out in a news bulletin by Briggs & Stratton. This was brought to my attention by YouTube user named Matt's Shop, written right up there at the top. And so I want to thank Matt very, very much for that. And what it does is, right here, you can see there's a roll pin right there where my pinky's at, and then this gap here. Well, they make a replacement roll pin and a Teflon washer that you put in between there. Briggs & Stratton is saying to order that kit with that roll pin and the Teflon washer so that you can use that Teflon washer. This is an official Briggs bulletin here, published in 1996. You look right down here, and there's your part number. It's 391413 kit, and it's Teflon washers. And you put that Teflon washer where the two metals come together up here. So, you know, it's kind of here's a little better picture, okay? Where the two metals come together, where the brass seats on the carb body is right there. And it also goes on to say that there's a way to check to make sure that it is sealing properly. And they say to fill up the fuel bowl. Just take a bolt. It's saying actually to take a bolt, and they don't show a picture of it. But they're saying to take a bolt and put the bolt in your throttle cable bracket hole right there, and put it in your vise. And once you've got it in your vise, to make sure it's level, and fill the fuel bowl up and watch for a leak coming out of the needle, or you will see fuel leaking. From looking down the center, you'll see fuel leaking out here and running down here, and that's exactly what happens. It's nice that this has got this cutaway so I can show you that. Let me get a poker to show you. Okay, right here is where the two metals come together and seal. The fuel, this is the fuel bowl here and here, okay? The fuel goes down here and climbs up and fills in right in here so that it can be pulled up and atomized into the throat. And this is your intake throat here that goes up into the intake manifold and into the engine, and consequently gives you fuel for the engine to run. So what that Teflon washer does, that little Teflon washer right there, what that does is it is so thin, but it being made of Teflon, it is good and sturdy. So you can seat your main jet down, or your emulsion tube as it's called, with that Teflon washer put on there, and that'll seal these two areas, and that'll stop your leaking that I described up here. Okay, I don't know if that was even in the picture, but that Teflon seal goes right there, right down the small diameter of the tube, and just rests there. You put your emulsion tube in, and you're set and off and running to the races. Another thing that this points out that you can do is to actually take an emulsion tube, a sacrificial emulsion tube, grind all of the threads off of it. Grind all the threads off so it'll just slide in and out of the carburetor body. And then use lapping compound and that dedicated sacrificial emulsion tube or main jet and a screwdriver to polish the seat where the two come together. Pot metal is notoriously porous, and over time it degrades. It takes many, many, many moons and poor conditions for it to happen, but it can happen. So, but I wanted to bring that to your attention. I really want to thank Matt from Matt's Shop for pointing that out to me as well. Brilliant information to have, and it's an actual Briggs & Stratton news bulletin. So if you want that notification, just look down in the description. I will link it there for you so that you can pull it up and print it off as I've done, so that I can put it in my Briggs books and have it on hand. But that is a lesson that is now ingrained in my brain. I've got that, and it makes perfect sense, because that is exactly where these carburetors leak, and I've explained that that's where they leak before. I just wasn't aware that there was a bulletin out about it. So there we go. We talked about what we're going to do with the little KLX 110. It's going to be going up on the lift Monday morning. It is now Friday afternoon. What time is it? It's 10 to, or quarter till 3. Miss Zippo will be here soon, so today is pretty much a wash. It's been raining like crazy. I left my headlights on, old blue. I need to go shut those off. Decided I'd go ahead and I took a partner with me to help with this, but I picked the wrong partner. And I've been known to pick the wrong partners to help me before. And sure enough, Clyde did absolutely nothing but sit there and kick back and do just literally nothing. And we also picked up a couple other things from Harbor Freight while we were there. And I also stopped and got some information on getting t-shirts made. So I put a poll up on the community tab for you guys to vote on the t-shirt that you want, the size. I'll have to do a little bit of math because it's showing me in percentages. It's not showing me actual numbers of votes. So if you would please, guys, do me a solid and comment on that and tell me what size shirt. I'm initially just going to order 24 shirts. That's it. 24 shirts. That's going to be the first run. Once those sell out, and we'll see how well they do, then we will go ahead and potentially order more. But something that I've been wanting, and I've seen Musty use them, and a number of other people use them, Darren, Musty one, is hose grip pliers. I can't tell you how many times I could have used hose grip pliers, and I only paid $9.99 for them. So I thought, well, why not? And they don't have to be super high quality or anything like that, because all they're doing is grabbing Tyvek or Viton or rubber fuel lines off. And then I've seen some tremendous reviews on this thing. The Braun Magnetic Slim Bar Folding Rechargeable LED light. 390 lumens. It has high, low, and then a tiny little LED right there on the tip. Let's bust it out and take a look at that real quick. It's kind of a hodgepodge video, isn't it? So I'm not going to shine it directly, but there's high. And if you press it within a second or two, it'll go to low. So let me just go ahead and shut it off, and I'll go high and then low. There's low. Another neat thing about it is it moves 180 degrees in either direction, and it has a magnetic base, you guys can see, and it's a strong magnetic base, so it must be a neodymium magnet there. So now we'll shut that off, and then if you press it 3 times real quick, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you get the light on the end of it. So I'm pretty impressed with it so far. We'll see if it was worth the $34.99 I think I paid for it. But like I say, it's rechargeable. It uses a standard 18650 rechargeable 3.7 volt light bulb. Slim bar worked like $27.99, so I got it even cheaper than what the ad was telling me it was. I don't even remember. Let's take a look at the ad here real quick. And I am a Fast Track member, so I get a discount. I get perks. I can go in on Thursday for the sidewalk sales instead of Friday and take advantage of limited supply items and whatnot. But where's that flashlight at? Where you at? Where you at? There you are. Okay. Yeah, see, it was $34.99. But because I'm a Fast Track member, I got it for $27.99. So it's worth it to become a Fast Track member, especially if you're going to buy a large ticket item. I became a member when I bought Miss Zippo, the blue box. And now that we're Switching gears again and talking about something totally different again. I'm going to go over to Big Red as soon as I get the charge cord out of this box here real quick. And I got a sneak peek of something that I don't think we were supposed to know about. It comes with its own charging cord, and it just plugs in right there. Plug the USB in, it lets you know when it's fully charged. Plugs into any regular 12-volt outlet with an adapter or into home power. Okay, Big Red. Big Red is the first generation, and because it's the first generation, it does not have the struts that allow it to go all the way up to 90 degrees. All the new ones come up to 90 degrees. Also, I've changed all my lining over to this nicer, heavier lining rather than that crappy foam stuff. The new ones already have that liner in all the drawers. You can see that I've changed it here. What happens to it when you don't change it is you wind up like this. See how this is getting all, it bunches up, and it's just all bunched up in there, just a mess. And this stuff is really, really thin. Look, it just popped a piece off. It's just really, really thin, medium density foam. So, yeah. So that's why I changed it out. Well, they're putting that in these now. They're also more robust with a 9-pin round lock, similar to what's over here on the Master Force. Locks just like that, the barrel locks. But what I got a glimpse of, which I don't think I was supposed to have gotten a glimpse of, I got it in an email from the Fast Track Club, and then it disappeared on me within an hour. They obviously had announced too soon. They're coming out with 3 more colors. Right now they have red, black, and blue. They are coming out with 3 more colors. Lime green, yellow, and orange. I saw them. And then Miss Zippo and I searched and searched and searched and searched, trying to find them again, and found absolutely nothing on them. So I was given a sneak peek, and then that sneak peek was taken away from me. So it's not gospel that it's absolutely going to happen, but the Series 2 US General Pro toolboxes may be coming out with a total of 6 colors, giving us the neon green, the yellow, and the orange options. If that does happen, I may end up getting an orange one, because you know Zippo likes his orange stuff. Alright, I have been going on for 18 minutes now, plus the unboxing on those spoons, so it's going to be a long-winded one. I don't even know how to title it, so I'm just going to title it, it's a mixed mash of all kinds of new yummy goodness and carburetor information, or something to that effect. If you guys are not subscribed, right there is my smiling face in orange. Click on that and you can subscribe, and then hit the bell icon, and you'll be notified every single time I post a video. Told you what video is going to be over there, and here's the most recent upload here. We'll see you guys on the next one. Later. I'm out of here.